over to continue the hatch operations to ready for the ingress of Crew-5. Just moments ago, they were given a go by Mission Control Houston to do readings of the vestibule, making sure that it was right pressure and the right mix inside the vestibule before opening the hatch of Dragon.
Houston station on the big loop. Have gas detector readings of 0 in the vestibule.
We copy. Readings of 0 in the vestibule.
And you just heard confirmation that there's a 0 reading inside the vestibule, and that's 0 gas being read from the vestibule.
Houston station on the big loop. 4.1, no condensation in the IDA vestibule.
Houston copies.
And we currently see it is all hands on deck as Crew-4. Samantha Cristoforetti, current station commander, and Bob Hines in your forefront view in the center of the screen. And off to the right, we see NASA astronaut Jessica Watkins. Oh, sorry, that is Frank Rubio. And they continue preparations for the ingress of Crew-5 from Dragon Endurance.
Houston, SpaceX, station on the brake loop. Station is ready for Dragon Hatch equalization.
Houston copies.
SpaceX copies.
You just heard a call from the crew to Mission Control Houston, as well as Mission Control at SpaceX, that the crew is ready for hatch equalization. And you're currently seeing views from a camera inside the vestibule. The astronauts aboard the ISS have put a camera facing them to be able to watch as the crew ingresses from Endurance Dragon. You're currently seeing all of Crew-4 plus Frank Rubio out still preparing for that hatch open. We're looking.
Dragon to ground. Com check.
Hey, Koichi, I've got you 5x5 on Dragon to ground.
Jake, here we can give you the water and food inventory tracker reporting.
We are ready to copy.
Okay, for water inventory, from bag 203, we consumed all 5 bottles. And from bag 204, we consumed all 5 bottles. And from bag 207, 2 bottles consumed. And from bag 208, all 5 bottles were consumed. And that's the end of the water inventory.
Copy on water, 203, 5 bottles, 204, 5 bottles, 207, 2 bottles, and 208, 5 bottles. And I've got one more question for you. We do bookmark one of those for the waste system flush. I wonder if you have already taken that into account.
Yes, we have taken that bottle into account for the water flush.
Perfect. And we're with you for food.
Okay, for food, from bag 301, breakfast and lunch consumed. From bag 302, snack and dinner were consumed. Those are fully consumed. And from bag 309, 3/4 of breakfast and 3/4 of lunch were consumed. And from bag 310, snack is fully consumed and half dinner is consumed. That's the end of the food inventory.
We copy 301, 2 meals consumed, 302, both items consumed, 309 had 3/4 of a breakfast and a lunch, 310 had a snack consumed and half a dinner. And I've got one hanging question for you. Is the plan to dispose of all the half-eaten and 3/4 eaten items?
It'll be about 5 minutes for equalization.
Understood. Go from the Dragon Crew and then head.
Yeah, Jake, that's affirmative. We will consume those partially consumed ones. We will trash those partially consumed food on the ISS.
Okay, we copy all. Thanks, Koichi.
Thank you, Jake.
You just heard on Dragon to Ground loop the Crew-5 crew inside of Dragon Endurance give a reading on the consumables that they used while in flight in approach and docking to the International Space Station. We are just awaiting them, the Crew-5 crew, to give an okay for
Dragon, SpaceX on Dragon to Ground for working towards hatch opening.
Go ahead, Jake, for hatch opening.
Hey, Koichi, understand you're not quite through 4.400. We've got some itchy folks here on the ground looking to equalize across the hatch. We're looking to perform the first few steps of Section 6, equalize across the Dragon hatch, while you continue with Section 5 for the waste system flush. How copy?
Yeah, we copy.
And you just heard the core Jake Vindel and SpaceX Mission Control in Hawthorne, California, talk to Koichi Wakata aboard Dragon Endurance. He relayed that the ISS crew on board station is ready for equalization, and that they could continue procedures on their side as the ISS crew begins the equalization of Dragon. We are looking for about a 5-minute timer on that. After that period, teams will verify that the hatch is good to open between the space station and Endurance.
Jake on Dragon to Ground. I am with you here in Section 6, and Josh is working Section 5.
Copy, Nicole. And just to confirm, we want to make sure the Dragon crew is ready to equalize across the hatch.
Affirm. Dragon crew ready to equalize across the hatch.
Okay, copy. We will send that command shortly.
And again, you just heard Jake Vindel report to the crew that they are ready for hatch equalization. So that's ISS crew and the crew inside Dragon Endurance are ready to equalize the hatch. Again, the clock will start about a 5-minute timer. After that period, teams will verify that the hatch is good to open between the space station and Endurance.
Station and Dragon, Houston on the big loop. Stand by for equalization, which is expected to take 5 minutes.
Dragon copies.
Station copies, 5 minutes.
And you just heard it, 5 minutes for equalization once that process has begun. And that was Jessica Watkins on board the International Space Station and Nicole Mann inside Endurance, confirming that they heard the go for equalization.
It's on 3 for ops products.
With you, Sam.
Yeah, I know we've got some critical events going on, but we also have some time-critical activities after hatch opening. I just wanted to mention right now we're not able to refresh Optimus or access the ops products anywhere on iPads or SSCs.
Okay, we copy, Sam. We'll discuss down here.
And Houston, as a follow-up, it seems like one of the laptops now finally was able to open Optimus. So it might have been just a very slow situation for a moment. We'll keep looking at it.
Okay, we copy. Thanks for the report.
SpaceX Dragon on Dragon to ground for configuration.
Nicole, we're with you on Dragon to ground.
Okay, we're complete with Section 5. We're standing by here in Section 6. We've got the suits drying. I've got 7 more minutes on the timer. Big picture, are you thinking that we're going to open the forward hatch and then go in for a quick hello and then come back to finish up with the suits and then step into the ISS procedure?
Dragon, that's a good read. We are going to step into the hatch open process right now and then have you come on back for some final cabin configuration steps.
Okay, copy. So we're going to, on your go, we will get that hatch open, and then I'll check with you before we enter ISS and say hello. Then we'll come back and finish up with our suits, and then we'll also execute 2.102.
Copy all, and that's a good read. Stand by 1.
And we have confirmation inside Mission Control that Crew Dragon is equalized to the International Space Station. And the crew inside Dragon and the ISS are ready for hatch open.
Dragon, SpaceX, on the big loop, you are go for Dragon hatch opening for the decal, followed by the remaining actions in 4.400, Section 6.
Dragon copies. We're opening the forward hatch and finishing up Section 6.
And you just heard confirmation to the crew that they are go for hatch opening. And you can see smiling and waving. The forward hatch on the Crew Dragon Endurance has been opened. The crew inside International Space Station are all smiles and waves as they see the beginning of ingress from the Crew-5 crew from Dragon Endurance. And that was a confirmed hatch open at 5:49 p.m. Central Time, 6:49 p.m. Eastern Time. That hatch we've been waiting for is now open since docking at 4:01 p.m. Central Time, 5:01 p.m. Eastern Time. Hatch opening taking place at 5:49 p.m. Central, 6:49 p.m. Eastern Time. All smiles on the International Space Station as they eagerly await the ingress of Crew-5. The hatch is open, but Crew-5 astronauts will need to work through a few more steps and gather some imagery as well. At the time of hatch open, Dragon and the International Space Station were flying 263 statute miles above the South Atlantic Ocean. It may be just a couple more minutes before Crew-5 astronauts ingress the space station to be welcomed onto their new home for the next 6 months as a part of Expedition 68 as they walk through a few more procedures. The crew inside of Dragon Endurance are installing some IMV ducting, mixing the air of the space station environment with the air inside of Crew Dragon Endurance. They'll seal some of the LiO, or lithium hydroxide cartridges that scrubbed carbon dioxide inside of Dragon capsule on the ride to the International Space Station, and they'll check some vent valves as well, so maybe just a little bit more time until we welcome them on board the International Space Station. And here we come through. First one through the hatch is going to be Nicole Mann, commander of Dragon, and now the first Native American woman to live and stay aboard the International Space Station. All hugs and smiles going around. Next one through the hatch is Josh Cassada, the pilot of Dragon. He's getting his welcome and hellos from the crew aboard International Space Station. And we see right now, right past Nicole Mann's hair, is Koichi Wakata of JAXA coming through the hatch. And last but not least, Anna Kikina of Roscosmos just entered the International Space Station, and Crew-5 is officially ingressed from Dragon Endurance into their home for the next 6 months, the International Space Station. And with the addition of Crew-5 on board, there is currently 11 astronauts inside the International Space Station. We're currently in a brief handover between satellites and should have the acquisition of signal back shortly. Bring you more views inside the International Space Station. Just moments ago, we saw Crew-5 ingress the station. And now we have the 11-person crew of Expedition 67 now all together in Node 2 of the International Space Station.